everyone, it's your girl Marisa, and today I'll be speaking on the Justin Timberlake apology to Janet Jackson and Britney Spears. I'll be giving you a rundown on the whole situation and my opinion on it. As you guys know, they were dating from 1999 to 2002 until it was reported that she did cheat on him. So that ended their relationship. So Britney Spears did have this perfect image of her being a virgin and celibate, and the fact that she cheated on him really ruined that image of her. Then there goes the infamous song Cry Me a River, which basically details the relationship and how she was cheating on him, and it really brought down her image even more, which was part of what led to Britney Spears' breakdown. Then he would go from interview to interview saying, yeah, he was intimate with her. And he even did an interview with Diane Sawyer, which really made him look like the victim. And I'm not saying that he wasn't because he was the one cheated on. However, it really did make Britney Spears look bad. And that incident still follows her till this day. She would always be asked about that relationship, and it would make her feel a little emotional and very upset. But she was able to answer the questions. But this situation really did affect her in the long run. And today we now see that Britney Spears is in a conservatorship, and this was part of the reasons, part of her breakdown. This was the beginning of her breakdown. Now we're going to go on to Miss Janet Jackson and explain the things that he has done to her and how it has led to a lot of problems in her career as well. So if we all remember, we remember that Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake did one part of the Super Bowl together. So it was Janet Jackson's Super Bowl, but he came in at the end. And there was an incident where he pulled her shirt off and she was basically exposed, and this really interrupted her career. While Justin Timberlake was able to continue on with his life, Janet Jackson got blackballed. She got shamed, and a lot of other things came towards her. Her career really took a decline after this. And although Justin did play a part, the person who played the biggest part was Les Moonves. And from Vanity Fair, it says he harbored a grudge toward Janet Jackson for years, which is the reason why she was blackballed. So I'm going to read this. In a story published Thursday in Huffington Post, sources told Yashar Ali that Moonves was serious over the scandal and for years held a grudge against Jackson specifically. Obsessed with derailing her career, Moonves didn't believe the performer's assertion that Timberlake removed both Jackson's leather bustier and red lace underneath it by accident, and said he believed they planned it as a ploy to drum up controversy, according to the story. And he was particularly furious with Jackson, sources said, because he did not think she was sorry enough for what happened. Both Timberlake and Jackson were banned from the 2004 Grammys, but Moonves changed his mind about Timberlake when the singer tearfully apologized. And that's a huge misconception because Janet Jackson, she did apologize as well. And I'm going to show you guys the video later. Moonves essentially blacklisted Jackson from Viacom, the report says. He ordered all the company's radio stations as well as its television networks VH1 and MTV not to play Jackson's music. Per HuffPost, that decision tanked album sales for Jackson's 2004 album, The Meta Joe, which went on sale only a month after the Super Bowl. Even 7 years later, Moonves reportedly hadn't let the incident go. Ali reports that when Jackson signed a book deal with CBS-owned book publisher Simon and Schuster, he began fuming anew and demanded to know, how the F did she slip through? He reportedly told one source that he would retaliate against whoever was responsible for the decision, but it's unclear whether that ever happened. A representative for CBS declined to comment on HuffPost's report. And this was a different time. We're in social media time today. However, back then you needed VH1, MTV, and all radio stations to play your music, because if they didn't, it would be terrible. Today we have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but back then that's all they depended on. It's scary how one person had control over so many television networks and media sites and radio stations. And that's how Janet Jackson was basically blackballed because one person had all this control over her career. And this came out in 2018. We didn't even know about the Les Moonves situation until 2018. We all thought it was just Justin. And we knew she was blackballed, but we didn't know who it was by. The Nipplegate fallout unfolded very differently for Timberlake and Jackson in ways that are impossible to ignore. Timberlake's career continued to thrive. In fact, he returned to perform at the Super Bowl this year, which was 2018, for the first time since 2004. It was broadcast on NBC. Jackson, on the other hand, has seen her album sales precisely decline. Jackson appears to have paid an outsized price for the crime of showing the world her breasts for half a second, especially considering it was Timberlake who ripped the garment. As you guys see, Les Moonves pulled a Michael Jordan, and I took that personally. That he really thought that Janet Jackson personally meant to get at him for a certain reason because her shirt was pulled off by a different person. Wouldn't that be Justin Timberlake? But as you guys know, Les Moonves has had his dirt too. He's been accused and he has admitted to abusing women as well. So it's not really shocking what he did to Janet Jackson. That really messed up her career because she's not only a Jackson, but she's had a long career way before Justin Timberlake. And for that incident, her career was basically taken away from her and she was blacklisted. It's not fair. Another misconception is that she never apologized for the situation. However, she did. And I'm going to show you guys the video. I'm not going to show it. You guys are going to hear the audio and I'm going to put the picture up because of copyright. However, I'm going to show you that she really did apologize.
My decision to change the Super Bowl performance was actually made after the final rehearsal. MTV, CBS, the NFL had no knowledge of this whatsoever. And unfortunately, the whole thing went wrong in the end. I am really sorry if I offended anyone. That was truly not my intention.
And because of that, Janet Jackson was almost removed from history. They tried to erase her in any way possible. However, when the devil works hard, God works harder. So Janet Jackson, now she's getting the promotion and the love she deserves. And it's scary someone like Janet Jackson can be treated so badly because of a mistake of someone else. And because just a simple mistake. She didn't really even have to apologize for the situation because it was an accident. And although I didn't bring the video, there is a situation or a incident when Julie Chen was on the talk and she was basically saying, oh, Justin Timberlake apologized, but Janet Jackson didn't apologize. Well, there's proof right there that she did apologize. However, I guess it wasn't good enough or up to their standards. And now you guys see Justin Timberlake has had a history of making his career off of women's demise. And he was able to appropriate Black culture in order for him to get where he is as well. So he's been a culture vulture, very misogynistic for a while. And I guess now, I don't know, maybe it's because of the Framing Britney Spears documentary and he was getting a lot of backlash. Now he's decided to issue an apology to Janet Jackson and Britney Spears. It's pretty late. However, I would like to get into the apology. And I'll be talking about how I feel about the apology after I'm done reading it. So basically he says, continues on, I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns. I want to respond. I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right. I understand that I feel short in these moments and in many others and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson both individually because I care for and respect these women and I know I failed. I also feel compelled to respond in part because everyone involved deserves better, and most importantly because this is a larger conversation that I wholeheartedly want to be part of and grow from. The industry is flawed. It sets men, especially white men, up for success. It's designed this way. As a man In a privileged position, I have been vocal about this. Because of my ignorance, I didn't recognize it for all that it was while it was happening in my own life. But I do not want to ever benefit from others being pulled down again. I have not been perfect in navigating all of this throughout my career. I know this apology is a first step and doesn't absolve the past. I want to take accountability for my own missteps. In all of this, as well as being part of a world that uplifts and supports, I care deeply about the well being of the people I love and have loved. I can do better and I will do better. So that was his apology. And there were a lot of people in his comment section on Instagram saying their thoughts. Even his own wife came out and gave him some support. So I'll be showing you guys everyone's response to this. And then I'll come back and tell you how I feel about the whole entire situation. Well, you guys see everyone's response to the situation. Some people are like, oh, yes, we support you. Thank you so much for the apology. And some people are like, yeah, it's a bit overdue. Or people are like, yeah, your apology doesn't mean anything. And I'm kind of with all of it. I do feel as though his apology doesn't mean anything because not only was it late, but the apology hasn't changed what happened to Janet Jackson. The apology didn't change what happened to Britney Spears. They're still in the situation that they were before or after the situation happened with both of them. So I feel as though if you want to apologize, at least help or do something productive as to helping the situation. However, I also feel as though he did do this because he was pressured to do it, because people were dragging him, and it's also alleged that he does have an album coming out. So this is PR, basically. So I do feel on the fence about his apology. Apologies are beautiful, but what has it really done? You benefited from both of their demises. So what are you gonna do in order to make them better? That's all I have to say about the whole situation. Please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload new videos. Tell me how you guys feel about this in the comments section. You guys can email me stories you would love me to talk about. Thank you so much for your love and support. And hit that notification bell. Love you all. Please stay safe and subscribe. Bye.